unfortunately. That's alright, because I really didn't care for that operating system much anyway. So, whatever. Was there anything else that I wanted to talk about? Oh, yeah, actually, of course there is. One isn't there with me. So, like I said, I actually transformed that little space into a little, basically just a small workout area. Mm-hmm. That's right. So, that's what ended up happening to that. That's what I did with the space. So, therefore, now it's just a workout area for me. So that means the computer's not there anymore and the desk ain't there anymore, which I've already said. But that, I think, was actually a better fit there versus anything. And I can't believe it's actually like Halloween's like literally here. Like it's that month, like that time of the year. Finally. So yeah, it's just something I've been waiting on for quite a while, actually. So, is there anything else, really, honestly? Well, no, that depends on if there is or if there isn't. So, and obviously a certain flavor of coffee creamer is almost at the end of its seasonal lifespan for the year. Yeah, I'm not too happy about that, but it's okay. It's fine. It'll be back next year anyway. Not to worry. Of course, I hope it's back. There could also be a chance it may not. But then again, who knows? A lot of things lately. Who knows? So, as update two on things, I really haven't had any paranormal experiences lately, and I also haven't had any near death experiences lately. I guess that's a good thing, if you call it that. Or I guess it could be looked at as it's a good thing. Well, it could be a good thing. It could also not be a good thing. But I guess it's just one of those things. It is what it is, so that's fine. Anyway, oh, now a lot of you, I've been, well, I wanted to kind of sort of talk about this one place that I've been going to that I've been there a couple of times now, that has really amazing food, by the way. Yes. Coming to find out, another location business that these people owned at one time, I remember coming to find out they own a new place and a new location, and they're the exact same owners, and the food is actually good, by the way. Like, and I was like, whoa, wait, really? So it's worth a little bit of the travel, but it's all right. It's fine. So anyway, I just wanted to say that, and No, I'm not going to say the place yet on the channel. And I just don't feel comfortable saying it. That's why. So, that may be. So, well, let's see. So, well, I don't know how to actually go on about this, but so anyway, just like I said, a lot of different things have been happening for me, which have been really all good, by the way. I mean, I still have, some bad days here and there too, which is fine. And, I also still have some good ones too. Hold on one second. Oh, good, we're still recording. Sweet. I just was not sure if it was still recording, but obviously it is. Okay, so that's great. Pardon me while I get a sip of this water. Much better. So, So anyway, like I said, I've been working out with the exercises, and there's a reason for that. Anyway, but like I said, that's not something the reason why I started that, I'm not going to say, and I don't really want to talk about that. But, yeah, it is a very intense workout for the exercise, but it's okay. It's intense, but I don't care because at the same time I actually like it anyway, so that's all good. Um, Well, what else happened that was good? Oh, no. Actually, no. This thing that did happen was not so good. So, you're probably wondering what that could be. Well, what that could be. I honestly do not even know how to explain this one. And now, before I start explaining this, some of you may or may not be thinking, okay, I hear the confusion. Let me explain to you where the confusion is. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm not confused about how I'm going to explain this and what actually had happened. It was not so good for the confusion. So, therefore, no. Okay. So, let's see. Hold on. I have to just check. I just gotta have a look at something because this is just crazy. Like, how this happened. So, okay, hold on. I wrote it down here somewhere what actually happened. Hold on. Okay. So, pardon me. So, looks like here that this is what happened is. Well, I had ordered something, a package, that from a business that I usually order packages from, and hardly ever have a problem. But when there is, they usually take care of it right away, which they're usually good about. So there was a problem that I did run into. So I did call them, I did get a hold of them, tell them, what happened. They said, they're going to take care of it. They understood. So No, that's the short version of it. So, no. That's not exactly quite what happened and like how it all started. So, I ordered this package, from a place where I've ordered from before. And yeah, it was, it was a package order from Amazon, which is fine. I mean, it's not Amazon's fault that this happened. They have no control over that, of what actually ended up happening. But they were quite concerned when I contacted them and told them, hey, this is what's going on with this. Here's the problem. I explained it. And they were like, yeah, that's concerning. I said, yeah, thank you. That's what I thought too. So anyway, here's what ends up happening. They send my package, it leaves the warehouse for the shipping. And all of a sudden, it ships like it's supposed to. First, everything's going great. All of a sudden, the package reaches the state where it's supposed to be in, for me, at one of the locations. And then instead of going to the location, which is not far from the one that it arrived to where I'm at, for that specific location, no. It doesn't do that. It ends up going to another area another location in the area. I was like, okay. I was like, well, why didn't it just go this way the first time, like they usually do? Which obviously it didn't. I was like, okay, all right, that's fine. Then, so it goes to another location in the area, to a different location, in order for it to arrive to me in the first place like it was supposed to. So, it arrives at the one location in particular. Then, somehow, it ends up going to another location in the area, one that was a little more local. Then it ends up going all the way back to a bigger location in the area that's still local, but that's besides the point. And I'm just like, well, it was supposed to go to my location, the one in my area specifically, which it didn't. And I'm like, okay, got it. All right. So, all of a sudden, it ends up going to a whole nother state. I'm like, wait, what? So it goes to another state, and this time, instead of it going to the one big location in my area that it was in, the bigger location, oh yeah, it suddenly realizes that it's in another state, and they figure out the package does not belong in that state for the address that was on the package, I mind you. Oh, so then finally, it goes back to the bigger location in my state, then ends up going to another location near me, another location that I just happen to know about. It goes there, then goes to the one in my specific area. After all that hustle and bustle, I said, oh, really? After all that? It had to backtrack multiple times just to get to the correct location, which is horrible, by the way. And I said to myself, unreal. I bought this package, I paid for this package, I need it for it, specifically for a reason, due to an upcoming event / holiday that's also coming up soon. But like I said, unbelievable. So when I, did contact Amazon, I'm like, hey, this is what's happening with the shipping carrier. or shipping courier. So they said, all right, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. I said, okay, thank you. So they take care of it. They said, all right, well, you know what? Since you explained it, and this is the problem, it's taking way too long to all this backtracking to arrive to the correct spot and location. Something's wrong. Yeah, obviously. I said, all right. I said, so what's the best case scenario here? So they said, all right, you know what? Don't worry about it. They said, you know what? What we're going to do is, since you explained everything and we know exactly where the problem is on us, we're going to do one of two things. You're going to get a refund, and you're going to keep the package, even if it arrives. I said, wait, what? Whoa, wait. What do you mean keep? They said, because all the backtracking this package did, and the fact that it shouldn't have backtracked the way it did, that's why you're getting the refund and you're going to keep the package. I said, oh, okay, thank you. That works. I said, so you will be letting the seller know that I'm not going to end up being recharged. I said, because you are aware, right, that there was an issue similar to this a while back where something similar to this happened, where a package ended up getting lost and then arrived 2 weeks later. I said, so, and then the seller, after the refund, and I was told I could keep an item, I said the seller tried to recharge me multiple times. And I said, that's why I had to recontact Amazon saying, no, you need to tell the seller to stop. But they said that that's not going to happen this time due to the fact that they were aware of the issue and that they were actually making the seller aware of the issue of what actually had happened. And they were telling the seller, this is the reason for the refund, and this is the reason why the customer is going to end up keeping the item, because due to all the backtracking with the shipping. They said most likely the seller will agree 9 times out of 10. So far as I know, supposedly that's all good, as far as I know for now. But anyway, talk about horrible. Yeah, and I found out that I'm not the only one that has had this problem recently. I guess it's happening more and more lately. But it did not need to backtrack that many times like it did. That's all I'm saying. And I did make the local shipping courier in my specific area. I did make one of their workers aware of how that package / item with shipping with a courier literally backtracked so much. That way, so they were aware of also what is going on. Even they were just like, wait, what? Okay. Huh. Interesting. I thought to myself, yeah, I know. That's what I thought too. But I just don't... One, I don't understand why it backtracked that many times like it did. Like, every time it was close enough to me, it ended up going in a different direction. Literally one, across the state lines. A totally different direction. Okay. Yeah, that was another thing. Yeah, just crazy. Crazy. I mean, I understand things happen, but to backtrack that many times, come on. Really? Seriously? Like I said, it's just unbelievable. The whole thing was just unbelievable. But the package did end up arriving the other day. After all that hustle and bustle, thank God it arrived. But anyway, it's just that whole thing. It's just horrible. So So, if anyone out there, just as a reminder, if you're going to order anything, whether it be wherever, Amazon or whatever, or anywhere for that matter, don't be upset with Amazon in any way, shape, or form. It's not their fault. Just be advised that the shipping courier, just don't be surprised if stuff you order ends up backtracking multiple times in the wrong direction. Yeah. So please just keep that in mind as a friendly reminder that you may or may not run into that problem. I mean, I understand, places like that get busy. I understand that. But, like I said, you may end up running into the problem that I did. I mean, for all you know, it could happen. There's a chance. That's a possibility. But you're going to tell me that cannot happen? Yeah, nice try. Because there's a chance it could happen. There's also a chance it may not happen. But if it doesn't happen, then you're lucky. If it does happen, then I guess you're not so lucky. Anyway. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit on here and just go on about that and just explain what had happened, and this whole thing is just crazy. So oh yeah, I have one more thing to add to all this. Oh, by the way, I actually tried, when was it? Oh, the other day. I tried to get back into my locked Apple ID. Nope. I wasn't able to get in. Nope. I haven't tried to get in that in like quite some time. But I figured the other day, I said, you know what? I'll try it just for the hell of it, just to see whether or not if it'll let me in. Nope. It wouldn't let me in for nothing. And mind you, I filled out all the information for it to try to get back in. I filled everything out correctly. The answer to all the security questions, I filled them out correctly. And I actually remember what the questions that were selected for the security reason, for the answers for all the security reasons in order to actually get back in. And then, lo and behold, it tells me that, oh, you're unable to get back in still. I said, oh, of course. Yeah, so that's another thing I was not too happy about. It tried telling me that I put wrong information in when I actually entered all the information correctly. Yeah. But you know what? I don't even care anymore. At that point, I just did not care. I said, you know what? This locked Apple ID don't want to let me in? Fine, don't let me in. Be that way. It's up to you. But like I said, you know what? It is what it is. Whatever. Let it be. It's a whatever situation. But yet, it was not my fault that whole thing happened in the first place. If you're not sure what I'm referring to, go back and watch one of my other videos about how I got locked out of my Apple ID in the first place. So, before anyone says anything, or is going to comment, So, yeah, I know, I have not been on in quite a while. I know. But I'm on here now. Oh, and by the way, things are pretty much looking good for me right now. Literally. Yeah. Everything's great. Things are really looking up. Things are improving, you know? Well, not everything's improving, but some stuff, yes. Absolutely is improving. So, other than that, I really don't see why things would not be improving, but they are. So, what was I watching lately on YouTube, actually? I don't know, I've watched so many cool things lately. Oh, what was it? Right now, I'm currently watching Dhar-Mann. Yeah, I've watched that. Yeah, I started watching that. I started out watching on Facebook, and then later ended up watching it on YouTube. Actually, I know, right? I started out watching it on Facebook, and then ended up watching it right on YouTube. Interesting, yeah, but I like it. You know, was there anything else? Yeah, and like I said, lately I've been watching all kinds of just different things on YouTube. All quite interesting, by the way. Well, here's one other thing. There's something I would like to go to, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to for a few key reasons. One, last time there was something that I wanted to go to, me and just me and one other person, something that I wanted to go to, and just me, like I said, me and one other person wanted to go to, and a lot of people just did not want to go. So therefore, I said, well, if no one wants to go, then we just don't go. Problem solved. Alright, so that was one. Two, the tickets for the thing weren't all that badly priced at the time. But I said, wait a minute, before we go and get tickets here, let's see who actually wants to go and who doesn't, and then, we'll go from there. So, needless to say, nobody wanted to go, so I was like, actually, you know what, if nobody wants to go, then let's not bother getting tickets. Hell with it, then. But now I see this thing that I wanted to go to is going to be back in kind of like my area, or close enough to it. But anyway, I would like to go this time, but problem is, nobody ever wants to go. If no one wants to go, then therefore that's why I don't bother, or even bother getting the tickets. Because, I need to know these things, before I decide just to go and then get the tickets, and then no one decided to show up to go. Yeah, that's another thing that really gets me. It's like every time I want to do something to go to this thing to get tickets for, no one ever wants to go. And I don't know why. Honestly, I don't. I just don't know why. Is it because people don't like the thing I want to go to? Or am I the problem? I'm really starting to wonder that. Literally. It's like, really, someone here's people that should have went, decided not to, here they literally had a chance to do something like that would have been fun, but decided not to. So yeah, that's just a whole other thing. Like I have said. Well, I just wanted to thank everyone on my channel and thank you all. Oh, also, if you're new here, it's also a pleasure of having you on the channel. Alright, thank you all so much for listening to me ramble on. Well, I'd hate to do this, but you know what? We'll see you all in the next video. Bye!